London is well rehearsed and ready to give the Queen the send-off she deserves as one of the most beloved figures in modern history.
Tauranga MP Sam Uffindale's cleared of wrongdoing, but Nationals slammed for the timing of their announcement.
And All Whites captain Winston Reid will play his last international at Eden Park this Sunday against old foes Australia.
Tēnā tātou katoa and good evening from Westminster Abbey. 9-year-old Prince George and his sister, 7-year-old Princess Charlotte, have been brought in to walk behind their great-grandmother's coffin before the Queen's state funeral here tonight. The move is seen as the royal family sending a powerful signal about its future continuity. At 9:44 tonight, New Zealand time, the coffin will move from its lying in state at Westminster Hall to Westminster Abbey for the funeral service. George and Charlotte will walk behind their parents, William and Kate, and in front of Harry and Meghan. They'll also go to Windsor Castle for the private service, but 4-year-old Prince Louis is considered too young to take part. It is 11 days since the Queen died, and you can feel the atmosphere changing here on a cold and cloudy autumn morning in London. Cheers for the King and tears for the Queen. Everyone knew the queue to see her lying in state would have to end on the final day of public mourning, but that didn't soften the blow.
So, you are the last
Disappointment inescapable for those who had left their run to the last minute, denied the chance to say goodbye in person.
Yeah, absolutely gutted. We went across the bridge rather than straight over.
Hundreds of thousands of people did make it to Westminster Hall, determined to stand before their Queen, to bow or nod or blow a kiss.
Personally as well, I think to pay our respects, it's something that we just felt we had to do. It wouldn't be right not to be here.
I met a lot of people on the queue, so it's a wonderful experience so far.
US President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill were among them, joined by Jane Hartley, America's ambassador to the UK.
She was the same in person as her image. Decent, honourable, and all about service. To all the people of England, all the people of the United Kingdom, our hearts go out to you, and you were fortunate to have had her for 70 years. We all were. The world's better for her.
For the first time since the Queen's death, the Queen Consort spoke.
She's got those wonderful blue eyes that when she smiles, you know, they light up her whole face. I'll always remember that smile. You know, that smile is unforgettable.
Full of love and respect for her mother-in-law.
It must have been so difficult for her being a solitary woman. There weren't women prime ministers or women presidents. She was the only one, so I think she carved her own role.
The Queen's second eldest son, Prince Andrew, also paid tribute, saying, "Mummy, your love for a son, your compassion, your care, your confidence, I will treasure forever. I have found your knowledge and wisdom infinite, with no boundary or containment. I will miss your insights, advice and humour." Prince Andrew has played a significant role in official ceremonies since the Queen's death, despite being stripped of royal duties and titles because of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Tomorrow he'll again form part of the procession with the King, Princess Anne and Prince Edward, William and Harry too. All eyes on the royal family, the stage now set for the send-off of a century.
Growing up in New Zealand, we used to go to Government House every time there was a royal and we would wave. And I was here for Charles and Diana's wedding and for Diana's funeral. And I always said I would come to the Queen.
All the plans rehearsed and perfected are now falling into place. King Charles and the royal family have had their final briefing, and the world's most powerful people have arrived. What is expected to be the most watched event on the planet ever is about to begin. And as the piles of flowers continue to grow, London filled up and shut down. 1 million extra people on the streets, and in the biggest security operation London's ever seen, 10,000 police officers out in force too. Alice Wilkins is at Buckingham Palace, which is on the route that the coffin will take tonight. Alice, there's never been a funeral like it in our lifetime, has there?
No, Samantha, and there might never be again. And that's why thousands of people are already here outside Buckingham Palace. Many have arrived early in the morning. Some have been here for 5 nights or more. But if you're watching from at home tonight, around 11:15 New Zealand time, the coffin will be placed on the gun carriage and the cortege will leave the Abbey on foot. Big Ben will toll every minute as the procession, including King Charles and members of the New Zealand Defence Force, makes its way down the Mall and then past where I am at Buckingham Palace and along Constitution Hill to Wellington Arch. There the Queen will be transferred to the royal hearse. She'll then be driven out to Windsor, where the hearse will join a walking procession through the town and up the long walk to the castle. Members of the royal family will again join the procession for its final leg to St George's Chapel.